Twitter is in deep trouble. First, CEO Elon Musk delivered an ultimatum to employees, which included longer working hours. And then derogatory messages were projected onto Twitter's headquarters building in Ireland. This as the hashtag Rest in Peace Twitter started appearing on the popular social media platforms. It appears that Musk is shooting himself in the foot with his firing spree. It's really shooting himself in more ways than one. Let's speak more about this with Arthur Goldstuck, who is a managing director at Worldwide Works. Arthur, thank you so much for making time. Let's start with the Twitter offices, because my understanding is that they are still closed, temporarily closed. So who's behind the wheel?
That's the big issue this weekend. No one's behind the wheel because they shut down the offices and everyone, and that includes engineers, were shut out. Essentially because Musk is trying to decide, or his leadership team, and we'll put that very much in quote marks, is trying to decide who is going to go and who's going to stay. And they don't want to take a chance of disgruntled employees sabotaging things in the office. So Musk's solution, a very classic Musk, I have to say, is shut everyone out until they figured it out. So probably people will discover when they arrive at work on Monday morning whether they still have a job or not, purely based on whether their access cards work on Monday morning.
Sure. What does this temporal closure actually mean, Arthur, for people who use this social media service? So, for instance, if someone transgresses Twitter policies today, will there be action? Or it's a free-for-all this weekend?
It's a free-for-all, and that's the real issue. Anyone who wants to cause mischief on Twitter this weekend, it's open season, and it's going to be fascinating to see what happens. But my suspicion is that there are going to be some very clever hacks of people showing what they can do when no one is monitoring what they do. I expect we'll see a lot of fake accounts opened up specifically to take advantage of this period of someone called it a crater that Twitter had become over the last few months, and now it truly has cratered. But you can just imagine both people who want to spread misinformation and people who want to have fun and push the boundaries of what is possible on Twitter are going to be doing. I suspect mostly it will happen with fake accounts because in retrospect or retrospectively, Twitter can close accounts of anyone who transgresses the rules. So the easiest thing in the world is to create a fake account, transgress those rules at will for the weekend, and then walk away from those accounts. And it doesn't matter if Twitter shuts them down.
Because there's nobody manning this very important platform. A lot of workers have been laid off. Elon Musk is talking tough and giving workers an ultimatum. I mean, he's been telling them that you've got to work long hours or you've got to leave. What does this mean for the future of this company?
It means that for now, Twitter will be a horrible place to work. It has been for the last few weeks because since he took over, no one has known whether they have a job or not from one day to the next. And also, they don't know when they are going to be blamed for things that are not their fault at all. So, for example, one of the things Elon Musk did was say that there was a major problem with one of the platforms. Twitter was functioning slowly on Android because of the shortcomings of the team. That's in effect what he said, the engineers who weren't doing their jobs. But quite a few people then responded and said, you don't know what you're talking about. And those people were all summarily fired. So he also will shoot the bearer of bad news. So I cannot imagine anyone with serious career prospects wanting to join Twitter for the foreseeable future. And that becomes a major problem if he wants to hire talent. And he's going to need talent if he wants to turn Twitter into a thriving business, which it's not going to be for the next while.
And the question is, does he want it to really be a thriving business? Because a part of me, Arthur, thinks that perhaps he bought the company because he just wanted to destroy it. And it's very difficult to think otherwise, given the kind of actions he's taking, the kind of things he's saying as well. Is this
That's
just a man?
Viewpoint.
Yeah, is it just a man implementing these radical changes who want an overhaul, or could there be some truth here to Why exactly did he buy the company, and is destroying it part of it?
If he wanted to destroy it, he's going about it the right way. So one can understand why people would believe that he bought it to destroy it. But if you follow the narrative that's been going on for the last few months, it's very clear that he believed that Twitter could be turned from a good product and a powerful product into a great product and a world-leading product. That's essentially what he wanted to achieve, in the same way that he has achieved it in the past with the likes of PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX, even Solar City. He's had multiple successes in terms of creating businesses and turning them into world-class, almost case studies of how to transform a sector. But in an existing sector where there are already leading players, and with Twitter, they refer to it as a micro-blogging platform, and they are already a leading player in the micro-blogging environment. So for him to come along and wanting to turn that into a world-leading entity, he suddenly has to deal with a massive amount of legacy issues that already exist, and he's completely lost in how to address it. He's a fantastic engineer, or at least his thinking is fantastic from an engineering point of view, but he is clueless when it comes to human beings.
There's a hashtag, rest in peace, Twitter, that is really trending. Is that dramatic and exaggerated, or are we perhaps seeing the last stages of Twitter? Maybe Twitter as you know it is actually dying.
Well, it's not entirely inaccurate at the moment. If you consider that they shut the offices for a long weekend, in effect, at the same time as there are rumors about Twitter being bankrupt, then one can easily imagine someone like Musk walking away from it. But he has committed $44 billion to this project, and it's not only his own money. He's got some very powerful entities backing him as well, including Larry Ellison, the CEO, or at least the founder of Oracle. He's got the Saudi royal family. He's got the Qatar sovereign fund backing him as well, and a few others. He can't walk away from a product where all those people have put in money or made commitments, because as much as he's the world's wealthiest man, he also hates spending money. He tried to pull out of the Twitter deal, for example. So he is going to have to look at ways to restore confidence, but clearly he's out of his depth in this particular environment.
How does he even restore that confidence? Where does he start? I mean, all of us will be looking at what's going to happen on Monday when the offices are reopened, because what's clear is that, yes, he may have the engineering skills, but clearly there are no people skills here. And as you said, he needs the skills, he needs the talent, but if you take actions like the ones he's taken, you speak to people like he's spoken to the employees at Twitter, you can say goodbye to those skills and talents. And you alone, as this powerful man, you're not going to be able to run this company.
Well, exactly. He's got to stop acting like a child. Or at least he's got to let the adults back into the house because he's in effect locked the front door and won't let the adults back in. He's got to let them back in and let them restore order while he carries on playing with his other toys.
Yeah. Arthur Goldstuck, thank you for making time for us.